This episode of Android Authority is brought to you by Domain.com. Oh, LG and Huawei gods, please restore Nexus to its former glory. You remember this puppy? The Nexus 5. This thing was simple, elegant, and had flagship power, all for $350. Glorious. Unlike more recently, we have the Nexus 6, which is a beautiful big phone if you love big phones, but there wasn't anything super innovative, super new, and it was expensive, whereas the original Nexus 5 truly gave other manufacturers an idea of what a flagship-powered Android phone could be. Now, when it comes to producing Nexus phones, LG has an impressive record. The South Korean giant's previous efforts are the most affordable and celebrated smartphones on Google's Nexus roster. Although LG's current flagship handset is more expensive than devices like the OnePlus 2 or the Moto X Style, it is still quite a bit cheaper than flagships from Samsung and HTC, and we'd expect the Nexus 5 2015 to push the pricing envelope even further. What might really work for the Nexus program is for LG to return to the basics. That means delivering a solid product without too many bells and whistles, but at the same time, working to keep compromises and sacrifices to a minimum to ensure a flagship level experience and an affordable price. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Jace, come on, you want too much. You want both innovation and power and a cheap price. But the Nexus 5, the original, did strike a sweet balance. Thankfully, the recent leaked images seem to suggest that's exactly what we'll see. While the LG Nexus 5 2015 will have some modern amenities like a fingerprint scanner and possibly front-facing speakers, its design still has the minimalist quality that many of us appreciated with the original Nexus 5. Now let's talk cheddar. What's it gonna cost? If Google and LG really want to hit here, they'll need to reach a price point comparable to Motorola's Moto X Pure Edition. If LG can do this, while delivering an experience that is somewhat on par with the LG G4, they'll be sure to have another modest hit on their hands. Rumored to be tasked with the construction of Google's larger Nexus phablet, we hope to see Huawei go all in on the hardware front and produce a well-balanced powerhouse. Hopefully the company's new handset will draw inspiration from its top-shelf P8, which features an excellent metal body and one of the better cameras that we've seen on a smartphone in quite a while. Even though the P8's octa-core high silicon processor holds up pretty well, we'd like to see Huawei's king-size handset ship with a more prominent chip in tow. For now, it's hard to say what the new Huawei Nexus will look like, but a recent leak suggests that it could have an all-metal design with front-facing speakers and a rear-mounted fingerprint scanner. Looking at the typical pricing of Huawei's previous devices, it's very possible that the Huawei Nexus could bring us a premium experience at a pricing that is at least a little more aggressive than what we saw with the Motorola Nexus 6. Thus giving us the best of both worlds. When it comes down to it, LG's biggest challenge will be producing a handset that feels like more than just a shrunken G4 running vanilla Android. And as for Huawei's team, its biggest challenge will likely be dealing with skeptics who want a phone from a more popular manufacturer like Samsung, HTC, or Sony. And both companies will have to launch their devices with competitive price points in order to be successful. Now, when the original Nexus 5 came out, I called it flagship power without the flagship price, and that was true, and I hope it's true with the new Nexus devices coming out. But I believe that if the Nexus brand is going to mean something, they need to go back to the original intention, and that intention was to demonstrate to other manufacturers what is possible with an Android-powered device. You see, the original Nexus 5 wasn't just elegant and sleek and cheap, it was fast. It demonstrated what a slimmed-down version of Android could do. So what meaningful push, what meaningful innovation can these new Nexus devices bring to really push the envelope? Let me know in the comments below. And no, I have not forgotten about your t-shirt winners. This guy wins it. He came up with a clever Android-related domain name that made me laugh that was not previously owned. So I will send you your t-shirt wherever you are. You just need to send me your size, name, and mailing address. That is the power of a .com. Because no domain name extension tells your story with the same level of trust as a .com or .net domain name. .com and .net domain name extensions inject credibility into your online presence. And who doesn't want more credibility? You can save 15% on domain name and web hostings when you use our coupon code ANDROID at domain.com checkout. Don't forget, 15% off when you use our coupon code ANDROID. When you think domain names, thinkdomain.com. Thanks for watching, Android Army. My name is Jace. I did want to clear up a detail from a couple of days ago surrounding the Samsung Galaxy Note 5. I said in the show that there would be no 128 gigabyte version, and that is true. Many people in the comments were commenting that no, there was going to be a 128 gigabyte version, and they were citing Samsung itself, but that was a mistake on Samsung's part, and they later retracted it. There will be a 32 and 64 gigabyte version for the Note 5, not 128, according to Samsung itself. All right, thanks guys. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of today's show. You can connect with me right here on Google Plus or Twitter. And you don't want to forget about my brothers and sister in Android who are working super hard to be your source for all things Android.